Yo, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to the Discord Tutorials YouTube channel. And what we're going to be going ahead and doing today is going to be a Dyno Discord tutorial. I did do one a little while ago, probably about a year ago now, I think about it. But since then, the Dyno bot itself has had a lot of numerous updates and changes to the way it works fundamentally. There has been a new website update, a new dashboard, a lot of new features. So I thought now is probably the best time to go ahead and redo that video. Hopefully, I can show you a few things on how the bot runs, how to set it up, and how to use a lot of the major features. This will probably be a somewhat of a longer-ish video, but that's fine. You're probably going to want to stick around because it does go. I will go into how to set it up and how to have it working effectively in your server, and I'll also give a few tips on how I personally have it set up. So we're just going to go ahead straight from scratch. Going to go add it to the little test server that I've made called test. You can leave all of the permissions checked. It's a big major bot, so it's very unlikely anything's ever going to happen. So you really don't need to worry about that. So as you go in, this will be your first little dashboard page that you'll come across. There's not many things in here I actually personally do fuck about with. Only things I really do is if you ever want to change the nickname, do it in here, or of course you can just right click and change nickname as per the normal Discord way. If you want to change the prefix, that goes in here, and if you want to change the time zone, that's in here. I believe this time zone doesn't really do anything, but other than like times of commands and all that stuff will be changing there. The last thing for actually setting up Dyno, when you first add it, it may ask you if you want to set up a update slot, which will essentially just add a announcements channel from the official Dyno Discord to one of your channels if you want to stay up to date with the stuff Dyno's got going on. Next thing, obviously modules are here. I generally do it from the left hand side. You can either get to them from the drop down menu, or you can go into and click it and you'll see all of them here. I don't personally use all of these, however there are a few that I personally do use. Forms, you see, is a new one. Forms is a very clever one. It essentially allows you to have a sort of application. Essentially you can have a load of questions and it will get inputted into a channel of your choosing. This is very good. You could use this in a sort of application sort of sense, or say a Q&A sort of sense if you wanted to have those things set up. Personally, I don't use these things, so we're just going to get them off. Auto roles is another good thing. I personally do use auto roles. As you see, I did it before. I've just got a simple member role set up here, essentially meaning that whenever someone joins a server, I'm not going to set a delay, I'm going to add role. Essentially meaning that whenever someone joins the server, they will get this member role added to them as soon as they join the server. If there is a role that you would like to be added after a certain delay, then you can enter your delay here, click add role, and it will be there. Say you've got a level 1 role you want to add, or you've got some other roles as per the way your server set up that you want to add, you would do that in here. Joinable ranks, I personally don't use, but it's something you can do. You can put some roles in here, click add, people can add it to themselves via the rank command. Next main big thing I'm going to show you how to set up is action log. This is essentially a logging system for the server. When you first see it, it will be like this. I personally will click this and this button. Essentially, number one, this will specify channels for each event, so rather than it going into one big log channel and it getting all cluttered and messy, and when you need to find something you won't be able to, it will essentially specify what channel you want for what event. So me personally, anything to do with members, messages, stuff like that, I'll have in separate channels. So stuff to do with messages, I'll generally have in a message log. Haven't made a message log channel in this test server, so I've just put it in the member log channel. Same thing with images, moderator commands. I generally put in server logs actually. Member join, leave, stuff like that. They'll go in the member logs, roles, bans, member log. Then stuff like role creates, role edits, role deletes, channel edits. Those will go into server logs. Anything to do with voices will go into a specified voice channel, voice log channel. the two sections at the bottom here, ignore channels, ignore roles. Essentially what these mean is if you've got some channels that you don't want to be logged at all. So for example, your entire staff team can see your logs, but you don't want them to see what's going on in, say, an admin channel. You would then ignore the admin channel so that any edits or any logs that get created via the admin channels your staff can't see, so that therefore they can't see what's going on in those channels essentially. For ignored roles, say you don't want yourself as a server owner to not be logged, you could then put in a founder's role or an owner role inside of here. So that meaning that anything you do, you will not be logged. So to demonstrate these logs, what I will do is I will join a voice channel and leave it. And as you see, Dyno has created two nice little embeds here for you. One saying I joined, one saying I left. And then if I were to just go ahead and actually I'm just going to make a channel, call it GG, and then delete that channel. You'll see in server logs it has created a log, put the ID of the channel, and said I've deleted it. So that's just an example of how logs work. It's very clean and very cool. It will allow you to do a lot of things and keep on track of your staff essentially. Announcements here is, say you wanted to have a join, a leave, and a ban message put into a channel, so that whenever someone joined, left, or got banned, it would put into there they got joined, banned, or left. Personally, I don't set this up, just a personal preference. The auto delete module, as specified, will delete certain channels with a filter of what you set. So if you go into, say, giveaways, you can add a filter. There are a few things here: links, invites, images, text, numbers, roles. Anything you want to filter, you can essentially filter. But again, personally, I don't use auto delete because it can be done via Automod if you want to set that up. Personally, I don't, but you can. Auto message would be, say you wanted to have every 10-15 minutes it posts your Twitch or your Twitter, it can do that. Or say a reply to something, it can do that as well. You can set up the time, set up the content, the embed, how long. Let's say you wanted it to be at this time, you could then set every hour it would then post that same message, what channel, what the message is, etc, etc. That you would do there. Again, personally I do not use this, but that's just me. Auto ban, it's a very cool little thing. You can have it for account age, so that if an account is below a certain age threshold, it will instantly ban them, and then it will unban them once their account gets to a certain age that you request. This username invites essentially means if anyone puts username invites in their name, so you see this a lot in when servers get raided. They essentially make their server like this, and they do it because one, they're trying to self-promote, and number two, they're trying to get to the top of the server list. When they do that, they will get banned via this match username. There's a certain username that you don't want them to have, say the N-word or gay or something like that. You can put it in here, and as soon as Dyno detects that, it will ban them. Again, personally I do not use this because I use moderation in a different way, not so more for that. But the point is that the option is there, and this is your Automod. Automod is a very powerful thing within Dyno, I would say. Auto mute essentially will also mute them. Disable default ban words. There are a few default ban words, as you see here. There's about what, 10-15 of them, or you can put in your own word list. I generally go and find one and put that in. That's totally up to you. Blacklist here will essentially blacklist any link you put in here and will not allow it to be sent. Whitelist, if there are sites that you want to be sent, you can put that in here. General ones I put in are stuff like Giphy, stuff like memes sort of ones, so that if anyone sends those sort of links, it's totally fine because those are generally GIFs and it's okay. Now these here are essentially the options in which you can use in Automod. Banned words. You can then choose whether you want it to just delete the message, warn the user, auto mute them, insta mute them, auto ban, or to do every single one of them. And you can do that for every single section here. Ban words, all caps, stoop text, links, invites, spam, mentions. Zalgo is like, it's weird different character text essentially is the way to explain it. Known phishing links. This is good. I haven't seen this. This is new. See, I'm learning something new as well. Every single one you can choose what it does. I do generally use Automod on Dyno. Haven't really made any big servers that need it recently, but you can. And then what you can do as well, for every single one you can customize this. Say how many violations they need to do to get muted, how long they get muted, if they get muted, and if there's any channels you want to ignore this rule. So for example, all caps or fast message spam. If you've got a spam channel, you can then go ahead and ignore that spam channel in here, so that Automod does not touch those messages. That's how powerful it is. Or again, if you've got a certain role that you don't want to be affected, say a staff role, that will happen in here. And again, you've got a lovely log channel. Personally, I would put this in a message log channel, because this would all be message sort of events. And again, ignore channels and allowed roles. Allowed roles meaning they will not trigger Automod at all, as it says here. So that, say you don't want your admins to get triggered, you don't want your mods to get triggered, they will go in here, and then they will not trigger Automod at all. No matter what they say, their messages will go through. Again, you don't want your staff channels to be moderated, those will go in here. This is premium. I don't have premium, but essentially you can customize all of the messages that Dyno will send after every single event here that it moderates. But yeah, that's essentially the Automod. And of course, make sure you enable it when you're done, so it actually takes effect. Now we're going to go to Autoresponder. This will essentially respond to you. Because of the different variables and the situations in which you may want to use it or not use it, this is a bit hard for me to explain. But let's say the trigger is Bob. Say trigger's Bob. Meaning that if it is Bob, whenever someone types Bob in the server, whatever you put in this response channel will get sent, essentially. Allowed channels is where you want it to be active. Allowed roles is anyone that has these roles you want it to be active. You don't want it to be in certain channels, you put that in here, same for roles. But essentially the triggers what you want it to activate from. Once it hears or sees Bob, it will then respond with whatever you want it to. This can be an embed, this can be a reaction. I used to have a reaction so that when people used to put something, I used to put like a party emoji or something just because it was like funny. But it's entirely up to you what you want to do. It's up to your own personal preference and however you want to set up. It's up to your own personal freedom. Next one we're going to go with auto roles. I believe we did earlier. We did custom commands. If you want to have, say, a Twitter command, Twitter description. This is a Twitter command. Just say Twitter. My Twitter is blah blah blah. Put your link in. Done. Delete command will then delete the initiating command. So the exclamation mark Twitter, for example. Silent command will delete yours and get the new one in. The in response will not send it in the server, but it will send it in your DMs instead. You want to always enable this because it can be used to bypass certain permissions via the bot. Again, permissions, this is any roles you want to be able to use it. Any roles you don't want to be able to use it. Channels you do want to be able to use it. Channels you don't. You seeing a custom theme here on Dyno? Because I am. Anyway, then we've got forms. I didn't really go into this earlier. I can go into it now, just so you're a little bit of aware of how to go into it. Just say test. Question 1. How old are you? Keep fucking clicking my mouse, don't mind me. Then this can either be multiple choice checkboxes, short answer, or paragraph. Let's put answer here. And then you'd put your submission channels wherever you would like this to be. Submission viewers is whoever can view those submissions, and submission managers whoever can view them. But if we click save, that will then save it when it loads. Enable the module, you click view, and that will be here. You could then obviously put the link into the server, blah blah blah. How old are you? Just say I'm 21, for example. Go to the channel, and it submits it right there. Whoa, that's a little thing. So you could really set up your own custom application system really with this, and you'd have it ask all the questions, and if possible, let me see, do you reckon you could add a, okay, maybe not, I would say maybe you could add a role. Let me see. Submission. Hey, see, you can have a cooldown so that people can't continuously do it. That's cool. Anonymous submission. That's cool. If you don't want people to actually put their name. Oh, that's a thread. That's pretty cool. And this here will add a role. So again, if you were to do it in a staff application sort of system, you'd have it at your admin role, or you'd have it at your application manager role, whatever your role is set up for that. And that's the easiest way to do it. There's a giveaway system. Pretty sure you can do this from a command as well. That's pretty cool. Create a giveaway. Test. Whatever, just say nitro. Starts on... oh, you can't do it then. Hey, it ends at... what's the time? Let's just say 46. Number of winners 1. Giveaways. Start a giveaway. Giveaway channel. Enter, just with a little button. I've now entered it. Time is there. Who's hosted it? And when it ends, it will of course give a winner. And that's simply as that. Now, that's basically Dyno in a nutshell. You can also go right into each command here. These are, say you want to go into purge. You can then check which channels it's allowed in, check which it's not allowed in, which roles it's allowed for, which is not allowed. For me, I leave allowed and ignored off and put my roles on what I want to put it on. Obviously, that's up to your own personal preference. I will probably go up into a full server setup the way I do it. At one point, this has basically just been for commands and all that. But you can go in and do every single command here and edit them to your liking. Whatever role you want to allow to use them, whatever roles you don't want to use them. Server list in here. This will list your server on Dyno for people to be able to join if you want that. Logs here essentially lets you see who's been fucking with Dyno and what they've been doing. In terms of Dyno, that's basically it. As you see, I won because I won the giveaway. We started there because I was the only one that entered, but you know, it's totally fine. And then you can also do commands here, help. That then sent me a DM, showed me stuff like here, and that's totally fine. Dyno also utilizes slash commands, so if you want to do certain commands here, you can, or you can still use the normal commands that Dyno has utilized for years. It's entirely up to you. Whatever you want to do for your server, that is entirely up to you and your own personalization, your own creativity. Dyno is a really big bot, and I recommend you all to add it, and I recommend you all to follow through this tutorial and make use of it. I recommend it to anyone over every other over every other big bot that's out there. But I think that's going to wrap up the video for today, guys. I have gone into everything Dyno wise. I have showed you how to use most things. The only things I haven't really shown you is message embedder, welcome tags, but I can and will make small little videos for that, because those are little small things. The video has dragged on long enough. I don't want to make it any longer for those of you that have stayed till the end. Just want to say, if you have stayed till the end, make sure you give the video a like rating. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more awesome videos like this. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you all have a lovely rest of your week. And I will see you later. Peace out.